This is Homeschool 101, Course Section 7 with LaVonda. Create a schedule. Grab some paper and some tea. That's right, you need to get comfortable because it's time to create a homeschool schedule. First, you need to grab your calendar. Next, grab some paper and some tea because you need to get calm and focused for this. Lastly, you'll need to ask yourself, what matters most? Things to consider. Before getting to work on your schedule, there are some lifestyle factors you should consider. Extracurricular activities, for example. You want to make sure the days and times of your children's extracurricular activities do not interfere with other things as far as schooling goes. So if you've already scheduled them in your week, whether it's field trips, sports, park days, that's perfect. These are not impromptu things that you decide to do. They're planned in so they don't interrupt your school days. You want to make sure you're also recognizing holidays and breaks that you'll be taking. So from major holidays, family vacations, summer breaks, and homeschool breaks that you're working around, you want to make sure that you've included those in your yearly planning. Next, you want to think about education requirements. What are the required days for homeschooling in your state? Do you have to homeschool for a minimum of 180 days, or are there none at all? You'll also want to consider the minimum number of hours that need to be met. Does your state require that? Definitely want to look those things up. You want to look at the age and if you have any special needs. Now, with younger children and children with special needs, you will need more breaks throughout your school day and less hours of schooling, while your older children will need less breaks and they tend to work more independently. Take a look at your work schedule. Your work may require that you work unconventional hours, or you may work the regular 9 to 5 job, and so your school days will have unconventional hours, and that's okay. You homeschool to have the freedom in your schedule and in your day to plan your hours of school for what works best for your family. So next thing we want to look at is co-op. If you're a part of a cooperative, we want to make sure that you're making sure it is included in your schedule, whether you meet weekly or monthly. We don't want that to feel like an interruption in your school week. If you've got it scheduled in that you have co-op every Monday and you educate your children at home Tuesday through Friday, that will not interrupt things. It'll keep the flow, and it'll also help you to plan in advance what subjects need to be done on what days. There are 3 parts to creating a homeschool schedule. The first part is to create your yearly schedule. This gives you an equal view of your school year. So which days you'll be schooling, which days you'll be taking off. You want to make sure, no matter what, that you're meeting your state requirement for minimum days or hours of educating. Don't forget to take off for holidays. The next part you want to focus on is your weekly schedule. Your weekly schedule includes outside factors such as co-op, work schedule, sports, clubs, field trips, doctor's appointments, those types of things. Now remember, your weekly schedule does not have to be a typical Monday through Friday schedule. It's all about what works for your family. I know families that homeschool Monday through Saturday, or Tuesday through Saturday, or Sunday through Friday, however it works for your family. The goal is to meet your state requirements if you have them, and to manage your schedule for what's best for your family. Your daily schedule As you're putting it together, you want to make sure the amount of hours that you educate your children will be based on your state requirements, your state laws, and your child's age. Younger children only need a few hours a day, while your older children may take up to 5 or 6 hours. Okay, I want you guys to take a look at this sample schedule. This is a look at what our school day looks like typically, and I adjusted this one for our new school year and changed the names of my kids. So what we're going to take a look at is the schedule includes that from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed. Not everyone does it just this way. It's just the way that I do it. So while I put the times on there, we stick to this schedule loosely. Sometimes we're not done right at that time, and sometimes we finish things a little bit earlier. But what I want you to focus on is the times that I put educate minds. Those are the times where I'm teaching. So we've got the things that we do together as a group from 8:30 to 11:30, and we're going over, well, not as a group together because they have different ages, and so we focus on different things as far as math and language arts, but they're doing it at the same time, and I'm working with them as required. Notice that I split up certain studies for different days. So you'll see a T or a TH for Thursday, T for Tuesday. You've got Monday, M for Monday, W for Wednesday, and so on and so forth. So as you see those, know that not everything on the list is being covered every single day. If it's got a letter next to it, that means those are the days that we're covering those topics. Then we go into our free time, there's lunch, and then I have one-on-one time with my oldest, and my boys go and play because they're younger. And so we go over her main studies of and some of her electives. Next at 2 o'clock, we have read aloud time and then quiet time, which I recently introduced back into our schedule in the last year or so, just so everyone gets that personal time to themselves and mommy's got a moment to read and all those good things. But then we have time for create time, which is our time where they can create things, whether it's painting, doing a craft, coloring in a coloring book. And we also have science experiments that we'll be doing during that time, just for fun. The boys don't have a set science curriculum because at that age, I like to just sprinkle in science throughout our day or throughout our week, excuse me. And then next we've got dinner, family devotion. Oh, making dinner. So under the making dinner option, you'll see where they have culinary class. So each child has a time with me where I teach them certain meals to prep and cook, and they'll be doing it alongside mommy in the beginning. And my older daughter, she'll be doing a lot of that more independently and more just taking instruction. But with the boys, they'll be helping me until they can eventually do it on their own. And just before that, you'll see free time with mommy and daddy. So our schedule looks different because daddy works from home now, which is really nice. And so we can add him in there. It's usually free time with mommy, but now one child gets to choose whatever they want to do with us together for 1 hour. So they each have a day between Tuesday and Thursday. And then we go into our dinner, family devotion, clean up, showers, and bedtime. But that's just a glimpse of what our school day looks like. Yours can look very different. You may decide that you only want to do focus on what your subjects that you'll be covering are and not any of the rest of your day. This just helps keep us on track, and it also helps my kids from asking, what next? What next? What can I do? You know, things like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. So I want to include a free resource. I'm always on the lookout for free resources, especially when it comes to calendars and planners, because they can be expensive. So what I've been doing for several years now is going to calendarpedia.com and printing off their calendars. They've got yearly calendars, monthly, weekly, daily, and I use those for planning our school year. They're yearly calendars. You can choose a school year starting from August 1st through July 31st. And just I like to use a highlighter and highlight with a certain color the days that we will be schooling, highlighting a different color with birthdays. So we take birthdays off. Those are holidays at our home. And I also like to include our days off for holidays and other breaks in a different color. So that's how we do it. That's a great resource. There are other ones too that you can check out, but they've got amazing calendars and there's no cost. All right, so some things to remember. First, I want you to consider your family schedule. You'll also want to make a yearly, weekly, and daily schedule. And remember to look for free calendar resources. Thank you for joining me on creating a homeschool schedule. In Section 8, you will cover socialization.